Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. So I just returned from a trip to Walmart, and it was actually, and shockingly, a successful trip to Walmart for once, as I did locate some new Mattel figures, which you can see before us. These are the newest wave of Snap Squad figures, which we have a green Velociraptor, a new version of Carnotaurus Toro, a Triceratops, and a new variant of the Spinosaurus. But honestly, each one is really quite nice overall. I really think that the paint jobs on them are quite appealing. I would say that the green Raptor would probably be Charlie, I would imagine. And then obviously Toro is just a slightly different color variant. The Spinosaurus is an entirely new color scheme that I've never seen before, which I really like. Almost a similar color scheme to the newer Extreme Chomp and Spinosaurus, sort of. Similar tones in a way. But all four are really cool figures, and I also actually found this there as well, which is one of those good to grow drinks, which has a new version out with a Dilophosaurus that I've never seen prior to this. So if you happen to go to Walmart, that's something you should probably check out too if you are interested in those, because it's actually really quite cool. But the newest Snap Squads look really neat here at first glance, so let's go ahead, pop them out of their packaging, and get a closer look right now. So if we begin with the green Velociraptor, you can see that it is just basically your trademark Snap Squad Velociraptor sculpt. We've reviewed this one numerous times already. There's nothing new sculpt-wise. It's a beautiful sculpt as far as a Snap Squad style Velociraptor goes, but the only thing we really need to take a look at with this one, and quite a few of the other figures actually that are here, would be the paint application. And primarily we have a nice green color for the overall body with a nice off-white for the lower jaw. You also have some very nice, beautifully painted eyes with a yellow that also include a really nice gloss coat, so they shine quite realistically. You have the black pupil there that's nice and small, making him look quite adorable. Once we open the mouth, you can see there's a very realistic tone of color included for the inside of the mouth that's painted perfectly, very nicely done, also given a bit of a gloss coat so it has that real saliva-like look in there. And the teeth are all painted very carefully as well. They look great. Also very nice as far as the paintwork goes on this figure. You can see the eye over here is painted quite beautifully as well. No sloppiness to this one at all. And then running down the course of the back, we see some darker green stripes. You can also see a few right here on the top of the head. And then again, running down the course of the back. And there's also that off-white color that runs along the stomach region. You do have painted nails, which is a plus as far as the feet go. They have a nice gloss coat as well. But the hands, of course, do not have any nail paint at all. But other than that, there's not really anything else going on with the Raptor. Just another repaint as far as these figures go, but a pretty fun-looking one regardless. Then we have Carnotaurus Toro. Again, another Carnotaurus Toro with an alternate color variation. We have like a lighter brown on this version here. You can also see a pretty nice speckling to this one, which I don't remember how many of the Snap Squads have had that speckling, but this one really has like quite the abundance of that speckling throughout the figure. And then as far as the alternate variation of color, we have a darker brown that runs along the back, a little splotchy area there in the back region, as well as pretty much the entire top of the head. Almost the entire head in general is painted with that darker brown. Look how cool that looks as he's looking straight at us. The pupils are nicely placed for that appearance right there. And then we also have that wound over here on the side as far as Toro goes. Again, trademark to that specific Carnotaurus. You can see the eyes are painted with a yellow, similar to the Velociraptor we had just looked at. Nice black pupil there for the eye. Same deal over here. Very carefully placed. You can see the lower jaw also has an off-white, similar to the Velociraptor we just looked at, as does the entire stomach region. We do have painted nails yet again on this one, which are really well done and also include a gloss coat. And then we have the articulation here in the mouth, so we'll take a look in here. It looks actually exactly like the Raptor, I think. Same tone of color included inside the mouth. Nice gloss coat, very carefully painted teeth with a little bit of like an off-white, almost a slight shade of yellow here for the teeth on the upper jaw, but they look really nice as well. So the Carnotaurus also is quite nicely done. Another beautiful Toro Snap Squad figure. And then we have the Spinosaurus. And the Spino, I think, is definitely a beautiful looking Spinosaurus. I really like the coloration that they've chosen for this one. Probably my favorite variant of the Spinosaurus, maybe even in comparison to the Extreme Chomp and Spinos. Like, I really like this paint scheme that they've given it. And this one also has a lot going on as far as that speckling. Like, you can really see the speckle look to the figure all over the place. There's a lot as far as that goes, and I really think that amps up the appeal factor to the paint scheme that we have on this. But for the most part, we have like this tannish brown, almost like a beige type of a color, sort of, or bordering on like a khaki. And then you have a little bit of a darker shade of brown that borders around the eye and streams out here into the face. And then you have a nice orange eye, which looks really good. Again, the gloss coat on the eyes of the Snap Squads and pretty much every Mattel figure are really well done. And you can see that here as I turn it. You can see the nice eye shine that we have from the Spinosaurus. Same deal over here, and one thing you don't see often as far as Snap Squads go is any type of sloppiness with the paint. Like, that's really not something you see as far as these little guys go, and that's really impressive. Definitely love that you don't see that very often, and you can also see that for the lower jaw, we have that same variation of brown that we see that's right there up around the eye, that we see on the lower jaw, and then down into the stomach region. I love that this one's different in comparison to the others, as most of the others you see usually have like a darker color on the upper side of the head, lighter color for the lower jaw. This one is, reversed, as we have a lighter color up here, darker color for the jaw. You can also see that once we get here to the back, we have a nice brown that runs over the top of the sail of our Spinosaurus, and again, more of those speckles are quite abundant throughout the entire figure. We also have the nails painted as well. Again, no fingernails, but the nails of the feet are nicely done, and then when we open the mouth, if we can get this guy open, he's got really quite the bite force there. You can again see a very nice realistic shade of color for the inside of the mouth. I believe this is also the same shade that we've seen on the last two. Very realistic looking as far as that goes. Again, another perfect gloss coat added to the inside of the mouth, as well as some really nicely painted teeth. Overall, they look nice and carefully placed, nice and carefully painted. All of that looks really good. So again, another beautiful Snap Squad. Our adorable Triceratops. And you can see that as far as the detailing aspect here of the face goes, it looks really quite nice. There is some beautiful texturing to the face throughout the entire figure. You can see the nostrils are sculpted out right there. The detailing up here on the frill is really quite nice as well. You could see some very large scales showing up here and there on the frill of the Triceratops. There's also some like very small scales, so lots of really nice varying sizes of scales as far as the frill area goes. It looks really cool. You can also see that we have like a reddish brown for the primary body color, but there's also some areas up there on the frill that highlight the frill a little bit with a nice yellowish coloration that just kind of have like circles up there. Pretty cool looking as far as that goes. The eyes are painted with a yellow, just like every one of the other figures except for the Spinosaurus, and then given a nice black pupil. The pupil on this one is a good bit larger than what we had seen on the previous figures. The horns and beak are painted with a very nice dark gray, bordering on a black, I would say. As you move back here into the back, look at the beautiful scale detail on the rear of the frill. That is gorgeous as far as that goes. You can also see some spikes that run up along the frill. Unfortunately, those are not painted. I really would have liked those to have been painted, but we did not get any paint on those. We have kind of a glossy appearance for the body in certain lights. It's very strange that they've done that, but I don't really mind it. I do quite like the paint scheme that they've given this one. There's just not really too much to it. It primarily is just like this reddish brown, and then we have that yellow, and that's really it. Although we do actually have the speckles on this one as well. Maybe I just really never noticed the speckles on these Snap Squads previously, because it seems like most of these that I'm looking at currently do have them. And then we can open our Triceratops mouth, and you can see the teeth are included in there, all very nice, very carefully painted, and really nicely sculpted. And again, we have that very similar coloration to the inside of the mouth, similar to what we had just seen on the previous three Snap Squads. Very nice realistic color, I would say. Also given, again, a beautiful gloss coat, so it shines like there's a real saliva-like look in there. All very nice and beautifully done as far as the inside of the mouth goes. And of course, the Triceratops can snap and hold on just like all the others can. Very nice, very tight grip on the Triceratops, and he looks super cute while doing that. As far as a size goes, all of the Snap Squads are already in pretty much the same size, or at least a very similar size. I'm not going to measure each and every one, but for a length on the Spino, you can see he's roughly around the 3 3/4 inch range, maybe a little over 3.5, or around the 9.5, 10 centimeter area. And then for a height to the top of the head, you're looking at around the 2-inch area, 5.5 centimeters, something like that. They're all, again, in the same similar size range. If you happen to have any of the Snap Squads prior to this, you'll already have a good idea as far as what the size is of these, as they are just pretty much the same as the others. There is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Golovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line, next to our Snap Squads, really showing you that, again, they are quite small overall. Definitely some really fun, quite highly detailed figures at a very small size, a bit exaggerated as far as the overall appearance goes, but if you happen to not have any of the Snap Squads prior to this, hopefully these figures in comparison will give you a good idea of the size. So this newest wave of Mattel Jurassic World Snap Squads, however, these ones are Camp Cretaceous Snap Squads, are really quite nice. This actually might be one of my favorites so far as the entire wave goes. Like, I really like these figures. I love the Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus is definitely my favorite of this group and potentially my favorite of all so far. I really, really love the overall appearance to that, as far as both, of course, the sculpt is really nice, but the paint scheme that they've chosen for this one, even though it's nothing crazy, nothing flashy, is very appealing, if you ask me. The Velociraptor is pretty much, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Charlie, and looks really quite nice. That's about what a Snap Squad Charlie should and would look like, so they've done a good job on that. Of course, the sculpt is really, really well done, but the paint job on it, even though it's not overly detailed, is quite nice, and again, it's pretty much your standard Snap Squad paint job. The Carnotaurus Toro really is beautiful. I love the tones of color used on this particular Carnotaurus. Gorgeous tones of color, I would say, and it's all very nice and naturally applied throughout the figure, as they always are when it comes to pretty much anything Mattel, and all of the paint is beautifully done as far as that one goes. Sculpt, again, really well done also when it comes to kind of portraying that Jurassic World style Carnotaurus, and any chance I get to add another Toro to my collection is always, a good thing. And then we have Triceratops, and I think the Triceratops looks really nice. Very well detailed overall, beautifully detailed, honestly. Like, the scale detail throughout that figure is incredibly well done. Better than most of the other Snap Squads, honestly, that you see. Like, there's really gorgeous scaling all over that figure. The paint job isn't that great. There's not too much to it, but what is included looks pretty nice. And overall, he has a nice grumpy appearance to him, so I definitely dig him as well. So as far as all four of these figures go, they are absolutely awesome. Love the Snap Squad line. Love that they're still releasing new figures. So if you are interested in these, make sure you check your local Walmart, as that's where I found mine. Pick yourself up some of these really fun Camp Cretaceous Snap Squads, and make sure before you go doing that, you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.